Eureka Entertainment brings a massive and quite entertaining box set to shelves in the UK and US with Mabuse Lives. This is a set collecting many of the films in the long-running German Dr. Mabuse crime film series, presented looking unbelievable with alternate audio tracks and tons of extras. And I'll dig in as much as I can here before you lose all consciousness and just say, I need Mabuse now. So I've heard of these films. Originally, there was a film by Fritz Lang, silent film about Dr. Mabuse, and then he sort of remade that film or followed it up in the sound era, and that's where this series starts. So I'm going to go down through the discs and what they have on them and my memories of these discs, but really, in a nutshell, if you don't want to watch any more than this, these are black and white, really zippy, fun crime thrillers that almost have a little bit of like a spy movie, secret agent, James Bond kind of thing with it, with strange contraptions and gadgets and things of peril, and they weave in elements of old like cliffhanger serials, and they're really quite a lot of fun. So disc one is The Thousand Eyes of Dr. Mabuse from 1960. This I had seen before. This did get a decent Laserdisc and DVD release in the early days of DVD, and was the one that it was the easiest one I think to see here for a long time, although a lot of these films had been released in the 60s under alternate titles, which we'll mention here as I wrote them down, and they were repackaged for American audiences, but they never really saw really widespread popularity or anything like that. They played on late night TV and they played in double bills or triple bills and drive-ins and theaters, but they never really caught on very much. So a release like this, I think, is really introducing to a lot of American public and film fans and film scholars the really first good presentation of being able to see these films without having to buy discs from other countries and suffering with bad subtitles or no subtitles or dubs or whatever. So disc one, The Thousand Eyes of Dr. Mabuse, 104 minutes, black and white, directed by Fritz Lang, with Gert Frobe, or Frobe, who people know really here as Goldfinger in Goldfinger and also from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Howard Vernon, who if you've seen almost any Jess Franco movie, you've seen Howard Vernon, Don Adams, Peter Van Eck. So the English dub of this was created by Fritz Lang and rewritten to make the audio match the lips. So it was shot MOS, mit Sound, shot silent with actors all speaking their native language. So like any version you watch of this is the dubbed one. So I didn't feel bad about watching the English dub of this movie. It looks amazing. It is super sharp and crisp, black and white, as do all of these. And they're good. I watched these all like late at night. These were the ones I would watch, all the lights off in the house, quiet, midnight or later. Really work well that way. Police inspector, portrayed by Gert Frobe, investigates a series of murders connected to a popular hotel, which may be connected by the surveillance. It may have surveillance secretly going on there, possibly by the deceased criminal mastermind, Dr. Mabuse. With the aid of a blind psychic, American industrialist, and woman trapped in the middle of all of this, the race is on to stop whoever is behind a series of murders that are going on in this hotel. So it's a fun, moody crime thriller. It really ramps up when it gets to the action-packed finale, and it's just super fun. So extras on this are an intro by Tim Lucas, which is 12 minutes long, which illustrated with stills and international promotional materials. Commentary by film scholar David Kalat from 2009. He's the author of The Strange Case of Dr. Mabuse, which is about the entire Mabuse phenomenon. And he shows up, I think, on just about all of these with a commentary. Actor Wolfgang Priest's interview that was done in 2002, 2 weeks before he died, 16 minutes. Alternate ending from the French release, which is a minute, and it turns basically the standard upbeat ending into a downer, which is a really interesting twist. And the US re-release trailer under the Eye of Evil title, which was interesting. They never referenced Dr. Mabuse in any of these titles. Now, yes, people here wouldn't know who he is, but if you're a company that's releasing 3 or 4 of these after a while, maybe you would try to connect them with that. I just find it interesting that they never reference Mabuse in the titles. That's a 3-minute trailer. Let's see. My numbering is all off. Disc 2 is The Return of Dr. Mabuse, aka The Steel Net of Dr. Mabuse from 1961, directed by Harold Reinl, and with, once again, Gert Frobe brings Lex Barker into these, Dahlia Lavi, who is in many things, and Wolfgang Priest. It's in German with English subtitles or an English dub. A lady is killed on a street by a truck that pulls up, little tiny window opens, tube slides out, and it flamethrowers her. If that doesn't get your attention, I saw that and I yelped. I exclaimed something I won't say here because it was just kind of shocking for the time and what I was expecting out of this film. There is in this film a place called the Bimbo Bar, and it features a monkey. So it's got my attention. And Lex Barker is Joe Como of the FBI in this film. So basically, Froba and Barker join forces to solve a series of crimes that seem to arise from a tiff between the Syndicate in Chicago and a German crime group. It's super fun, very noir, comic book kind of thriller involving a prison scientist, traps, and creative murders, and it zips right along. It was super fun. Once again, we have a 9-minute intro by Tim Lucas. The Invisible Dr. Mabuse, aka The Invisible Claws of Dr. Mabuse from 1962, is the next film on the disc. It is 89 minutes. Again, these are all black and white. Directed by Harold Reinl, with Lex Barker, Karen Dorr, who was in I want to say Thunderball or You Only Live Twice, Siegfried Loitz and Wolfgang Priest. Once again, you have your choice of German audio with English subtitles or English dub. Once again, the transfer is amazing. This was the third film in this series. It has a fun jazz rock kind of score to it. Once again, suave American FBI agent Lex Barker is sent to Germany to investigate the death of a fellow agent. He discovers the dead Dr. Mabuse may be running a gang and looking to beat authorities out of seizing control of an invisibility device that is used throughout the film. It's not like they're talking about an invisibility device. It may or may not. No, this makes people invisible. And at the same time, an actress at a Grand Guignol stage play is being kind of phantomed by somebody invisible, so we don't know who it is. So it's fun, it's well shot. Again, it's another criminal mastermind crime action thriller. Again, we get an intro by Tim Lucas that's 6 minutes, commentary by David Kalat. Again, Mabuse Lives at CCC interview with Alice Browner, 16 minutes. Trailers for The Return of Dr. Mabuse, the German trailer, 3.5 minutes. Phantom Fiend, which is the US retitling of The Return of Dr. Mabuse trailer. It's 1.5 minutes. It's from an old smeary, like multi-generational tape source. It's very different from the German trailer. The Invisible Dr. Mabuse, the German trailer, is 3 minutes. And then The Invisible Horror, which was the US title of The Invisible Dr. Mabuse, US release trailer. This is 2 minutes. Again, it's from a soft tape master. It's a little off on the frame rate, so it looks a little bit jerky, but super fun American of the time style that makes it feel like a 50s horror movie with like over-the-top narration. And it was a double feature with The Terror of the Mad Doctor, which was the US version of The Terror of Dr. Mabuse from 1962. So again, it's like they keep like just not connecting these things strangely when they're re-releasing them. Even if they're putting them as a double bill, they don't necessarily indicate that these movies are of a piece, as it were. So disc 3 features The Testament of Dr. Mabuse from 1962. That is 88 minutes. It is 185 widescreen. It is Werner Klinger was the director of this, and it features Gert Frobe, Senta Berger, who is utilized post 1 Million Years BC as she was in When Women Had Tails, with it was basically a knockoff of the Raquel Welch film, and she was sort of a Raquel Welch lookalike, or she was used in that way for a period of time. Wolfgang Priest is in it, and a 60s sitcom familiar face, Leon Askin, who you would know from a lot of stuff. Whenever they needed a rotund German, this guy would show up. And also the guy who played Slugworth in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, which is interesting to see him in something else. So this film, basically Mabuse is in an asylum, but a series of crimes in his style make the police wonder just how securely he is locked up. So it features, again, an intro by Tim Lucas that's 8 minutes, German with English subs or an English dub. And it's a remake of the 30s Fritz Lang film of the same name. Looks great in sharp, crisp black and white. Extras include a commentary by David Kalat, a criminology essay by David Cairns and Fiona Watson that's 30 minutes, German trailer that's 3.5 minutes, US release trailer as The Terror of the Mad Doctor. It is 1 minute, and it's, again, soft kind of YouTube quality. The other film on this disc is Scotland Yard Hunts Dr. Mabuse from 1963, 90 minutes, directed by Paul May with Peter Van Eck, Sabin Bethman, and Klaus Kinski. German with English subtitles or English audio for this, and it's in 4:3 black and white. Introduction by Tim Lucas is 8 minutes. Disciple of Mabuse forms a gang to use a mind control ray, and wreak havoc in England. So Scotland Yard inspector and his sleuthy mother of all people, are on the case to try to stop the bad guys in this one. It is more fun. It's got a great score to it and nicely shot and just looks and sounds great. So is that everything? No. Could it be? No. Disc 4 is The Death Ray of Dr. Mabuse from 1964. It is 91 minutes, 4:3, black and white, directed by Hugo Fragonese, with Peter Van Eck, Wolfgang Priest, Yvonne Ferneux, and O.E. Haas. It is in German with English subtitles or an English dub. It is light and fun. It is basically Van Eck is, he's like a spy in this film, our hero. He travels with a female companion to Malta to try to foil a Mabuse-inspired plot by a gang of crooks to deploy the titular Death Ray. It is much more sun-soaked and exotic than the German and the UK set entries in the film series had been. It's more of a spy Bond influence on this one. This is post-Goldfinger, so everybody was doing it. With our hero, he goes undercover. There's an army of frogmen. There's an underwater scuba sequence. It really has more of an international flair than the other ones do. The female companion in this is totally played for laughs, but also does have a hand in the mission. The extras are the extended Italian version, I Raggi Mortali del Dr. Mabuse, which is 17 minutes longer and has a different musical score. It's in Italian with English subtitles. They use the same 2K and master as the German version of this, with the unique bits in Italian or in standard def, so it's easier to sort of see where the changes are in this film. Both of them have... Both people who comment on this film say it is the best version of the film, and it's 109 minutes as opposed to the 91 minutes of the original German version. So it is a super fun set. I will show you what it looks like because these Eureka sets are really nicely packaged. So it looks a little like this in a box, where you can see the open side there, but it's got this little like slip case around it. So this kind of slips off. I can do it gently. That slips off to reveal the nice hard matte finish box set with really kind of gorgeous artwork all the way around it, and lists the titles on the side there. And then the slip case allows slippage. Sometimes they're a little hard to get out. Slippage here. So the discs, so we have a nice booklet with a really cool, a really cool photo and a pretty sizably thick book with writing on the film. And then the movies are split up between these discs that feature original German poster art on the insides. So you crack them open and you've got, each of the posters are represented in there, and then each of the discs that house multiple films are in there. And you look under and you've got your artwork there. So it's very nicely packaged. They also have another one I'll be reviewing soon that is about the CCC Terror in the Fog, I think it's called, with German crime thrillers. So we've got more artwork there, front. And it's a really fun series of films that, as an American-based cinemaniac, if you will, never really was able to get my hands on many of these. I had always heard and read about them, and it's really cool that we're getting these sets now. They're like the definitive presentations of these. So the booklet features great stills and artwork in it, and all the breakdowns of the cast in each film. And I'll just tell you what we got. We have Archer Browner, Master of Cinema, A Brief History of CCC Film by Tim Bergfelder, and that's very heavily illustrated. Notes on CCC Film's Mabuse series by Holger Haas, The Immortal Dr. Mabuse, The Thousand Eyes of Dr. Mabuse. I'm sorry, I'm just reading the titles that are here. I thought they were actually the additional things. So they break it down film by film with a little page for each one. Everybody's Got Something to Hide Except for Me and My Monkey by David Cairns from 2009. We have Fritz Lang on Dr. Mabuse, a scrapbook. We have, this is really loaded, The Final Unrealized Projects by Lottie Eisner in 1976, the ones that never got made. It's a really great little thin volume on the history of Mabuse. So I would highly recommend this set if you like spy films, if you like noir films, if you like crime films, and if you're interested in what was going on parallel to the US film industry in the early 60s when we were going nuts with like Bond films and gangster movies and whatever. They were making these over in Germany. So Mabuse lives. Eureka Entertainment.